Do you know what? I can't even bother to do two.
And welcome to this Sunday's edition of the Piledriver Podcast with myself, Dynamite Dave Abbott. We've got the surgeon, Gav Collingwood.
Oh, yeah.
And the heartbreak Yid, Phil Holmes is here as always.
Phil.
Heartbreak Yid is here to tell you the truth.
The R-truth?
Let's move.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true. It's live. And, gentlemen, how are we?
We are.
We're pretty good. We're pretty good. Quick update in my life, in my gaming world, and that is,
yes.
I have not played my WWE game since last time because the trial of FIFA 21 came out. So I've spent 10 hours playing that. Now my 10 hours is up. I feel empty, and I can't justify spending £50 on the game.
You've already got
so,
FIFA 20.
Anyway.
Have you already got FIFA 20?
Yes, I've got FIFA 20.
Then just pretend it's 21. Just change the cover, and you've got the new game.
The difference is Gareth Bale is now a Spurs player, and if you play Ultimate Team, Gareth Bale is now a Spurs player. Rumour is he's going to be involved in the mauling of West Ham next weekend.
He sure is.
Well, it's a good job we're talking about football on a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, you can always have a 30 seconds of football. And moving on then. So, Piledriver Podcast, have we got any birthdays, guys, today or this week?
Not birthdays just yet, but we do have some news. Gav, did you want to hit us with some form of news first of all?
Not the most positive of news. Former WWE star and Combate Americas, I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong, executive Alberto Del Rio might be going to prison for kidnapping, sexual assault, and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's had a history though, hasn't he? A very, very checkered history with every wrestling organisation that he's been involved with. There's been almost every organisation he's been involved with. There has been an incident backstage or something in his personal life. We all remember the infamous him and Paige when they were together. A lot of dark stuff going on there, and thankfully Paige managed to get away from all of that. Alberto Del Rio, there's been a lot said in both of his runs in WWE that backstage he was very, very difficult to get on with, often called by other members in the locker room a bully as well, and now it just seems to have gone to another level, kidnap and sexual assault, and for my money, if he is guilty of all that, bye.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I was almost about to say then, chop his BBD off.
Jelly bean.
But apparently, we've decided to be a little bit more PG and cut out the swearing.
As much as we can.
Yeah. Absolutely. So maybe if I can. And Val Venus. He knows all about it, getting his people chopped off.
So tackle.
He might meet nails. He might meet nails in there.
Oh gosh, you don't want to meet nails. I seen him fight the big boss man once, and he beat the hell out of him. It was scary as hell.
Yeah.
This orange suit on, and I tell you what, you don't want to see nails in the showers. Oh. Okay.
In other news as well, it was, and it kind of links into birthdays as well. On Friday, it would have been the birthday of the late Eddie Guerrero as well. Born in El Paso, 1967 on October the 9th. So Eddie Guerrero, God love him, he would have been the ripe old age of, let me get my maths head on, 53.
53. Happy birthday up in the stars there, Eddie. Great wrestler, great personality. such a great character, worker, storyteller. I know I say storyteller quite a lot in describing good wrestlers, but good wrestlers are good storytellers, and he was a brilliant wrestler, storyteller.
He was fantastic as face or heel as well. You know, it was one of those rare wrestlers that could turn it on face or heel as well. So
absolutely,
yeah, sadly missed, and I think he still would have been a valuable addition to any wrestling organisation had he lived to see his 53rd birthday as well.
Absolutely, yeah. In whatever role he might have taken up, we'll probably do another Dark Side of Wrestling episode in the future, and I think the role in Wrestlers and Drugs goes hand in hand, or it used to. And something for another topic in the future, but happy birthday, Eddie Guerrero, up in heaven.
Yeah. Any other news, Gav?
Nothing really happened apart from the draft, which was just pointless.
Was it not so? So what you're telling me is the WWE's had another draft between Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah.
Don't they do that about 5 times a year? I mean, I can remember them doing that when I was like in my teens. I mean,
I don't know what you guys thought, but the sad thing I thought, and it made me laugh, was that every time Stephanie came on to say about the draft, the first time round there were 6 wrestlers up, and 4 of them just stayed on the brands that they were already assigned to, so only 2 of them moved. And then the second round, I think only half of them actually moved from one brand to another. So I thought the idea of a draft was the draft.
To shake things up a bit?
Well, I remember being in PE at school when I was like 7 or 8, 9 years old, and it was like, oh, we're playing football. Your team captain, and the best players get picked first. And then you're left with the poor guy with 1.5 legs, who's got scrawny arms, and he's the goalie. That's how it used to be.
I was all right. I put a sheet you was, Phil. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you were clever enough. Dave, you were clever enough to move the cones in a little bit so the goal was smaller, weren't you? But anyway, again, football.
This draft, though, what I think WWE really, really missed out on was not including NXT in this draft as well, because I think that would have really shook things up a little bit. And it was interesting to see that Retribution were called in on the draft as well. So Retribution, who haven't been seen for a week as well. So
okay, so
it was.
Can I ask what was this on? Was it Raw?
SmackDown Friday.
Friday on SmackDown. Okay, SmackDown on Friday. So, out of 10, what would you give the episode rating?
The episode itself wasn't too bad, but
it wasn't too bad. I'll give it a strong 7.
7? 7's a good score.
I'll give it a 7.
Do you know what? I'm enjoying Roman Reigns in this role that he's doing at the moment, and I think the women's division on SmackDown is quite strong as well. So, yeah, it's do you know what? It's not too bad. Does anybody want to know the new leader though of Retribution, who got discovered on Monday? Actually, I forgot to mention that. It actually has a leader that's already on the Raw roster.
I always get his name wrong. I always want to call him AliExpress. Mustafa Ali.
That's the website where I buy a lot of Lego figures from.
Yeah.
Well, then try and sell them off as real ones.
Mustafa Ali
Express.
Mustafa Ali. Okay.
But you know what though? I do like Mustafa Ali as a wrestler, and I think this can only elevate his potential long term as an independent, as a singles competitor. I just worry.
Ignore him.
This is it, and I just worry it's going to go down worse than CM Punk's run as the Nexus leader. You know what I mean? So.
Okay,
but we shall see. We shall see.
Right. Well, I think it's about time for I'm just a sexy boy. Right. Is it
Are
time
you ready for it,
Are
Phil?
for the Heartbreak Kids top 10 Black wrestlers?
Are you ready for it? So, today, well, this month celebrates Black History Month, and Piledriver Podcast not one to shy away from the fantastic, immense amount of talent that we've seen over the decades, past, present, and future. We, today, thanks to Phil, are going to be celebrating some of our favourite, not necessarily the best, but some of our favourite wrestlers of black origin, and male and female. So please, if we've missed out any of your favourites, because we know there are hundreds and hundreds of them out there, comment on YouTube, comment on our Facebook page, and let us know where you think we've missed out on this. So Phil, wait for the sound, and it's all yours.
And there it is.
Excellent. Yeah, there it is. Excellent. So what you've got here there is Heartbreak Kids. That's me. It's my top 10 black wrestlers of all time. Now, please, like Dave said, don't get upset if I ain't included your favourite wrestler. Maybe educate me in the comments. You know, I don't know everybody. There's a few wrestlers that I left out that I wanted to put on that are legendary, man. You know, they've got so many achievements. But I decided to judge it with wrestlers I've seen with my own eyes. Okay? Wrestlers that I can remember a little bit. But definite, my defining thing was I got to know the wrestlers. I have to have seen them fight at least once. So to get it straight out the way, and this list is of the 10 as well, it's in no particular order. It's very hard to make an order of this thing. It'd take hours and hours of research to really, connect the dots and decide what's top, what's not top. But I'm going to get The Rock out of the way first, because everybody knows The Rock. And some of the other wrestlers on this list you might not know so well, and it'd be maybe more fun to tell a story about them. But The Rock, remember, what else is to say? The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, biggest movie star in the world, in my opinion, the best superstar on a microphone ever. Moveset might have been a bit limited, but he was electrifying. Always electrifying, always delivered. Love the guy. It's The Rock. Guys, can you tell me, what can you tell me about The Rock, Gavin?
He cooks a lot.
The Rock cooks. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Do you know, I have always wanted to be able to do that eyebrow thing he does, but I can't quite make it. It's not good enough, Dave. Yeah, it's not bad, but maybe if you change it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. He's known mainly for his WWE stuff. It's only as really as ever done, and I think when he was young, he was... went by a bit of a strange name. Sounds a bit.
It rhymes with Stretch Armstrong.
It's like Stretch Armstrong. Can you tell me what his name was? His very first.
It's great.
Come on, it's a great one. The Rock's first in-ring name was, drumroll, Dave.
You want me to give it, Phil?
Oh,
Give us it.
You want me to tell? I thought Phil, you were bigging it up that much. I thought you were going to do it.
Well, no, I think it'd sound better if it comes from your voice.
Killed that run just like WWE's creative.
Okay, introducing our new blue chipper. It's Flex Kavana.
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
So The Rock used to be called Flex Kavana. Before Rocky Maivia. Before The Rock.
Why Flex?
You know what? I'd rather come to the ring just called Dwayne than
yes.
Flex Kavana.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
But looking at his stats, stats though, guys, check this out. For some of his stats, I mean, this guy's a two-time WCW champion, 8-time WWE championship. He's held that 8 times. He's held the WWF Intercontinental Championship, 5 times tag team champion with 3 different partners. Can anybody guess who The Rock was champion with as a tag team champion?
Right, I'm going to go with Mankind.
Yeah.
Or Mick Foley.
Yes, Gav, what's the other 2?
I'm going to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I want to say The Undertaker.
Wrong.
The Undertaker is correct. There's
Good
one more.
I remember that.
Oh,
Give you a
gosh, you got
clue.
me still there.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Oh, Jericho, yeah.
Chris Jericho.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
yeah.
That's
The
some
Rock-
excellent bits there about The Rock.
also holds on his CV Royal Rumble winner of 2000, 6 Triple Crown champion, Deadly Games WWF Championship tournament winner, and he won the Slammy Award 9 times. And although I'm not a fan of a majority of his movies, he did win a Best Actor award in 2014. Which was a WWE award, but it's still a Best Actor award anyway. And,
What was the film, Dave? What was the film?
I've no idea. I'm going to take a pot guess and say probably something like Tooth Fairy.
The Mummy Returns.
Okay, sorry. All right.
When he played the homosexual bouncer in Get Shorty or something,
See,
I've no idea.
that's what happens when you read off Wikipedia and you haven't got the full answers.
Because I try and forget a lot of Rock films, really. I'm not going to lie, Phil. I'm not going to lie.
I like The Rock, and I like some of his films.
I love The Rock. I just don't think that Dwayne Johnson
I liked him. The one with Michael Caine.
A lot of people think.
Journey to Forbidden Island or something.
The Mysterious
Island. Yeah, that's the one. And they found Atlantis and Michael Caine's there. And Brendan, I don't know what happened to Brendan Fraser. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, never mind. Moving on. Number 2. This is, like I say, number 2. No particular order, but the next one on the list is D'Lo Brown, man. Can anybody move his shoulders and neck better than D'Lo Brown? D'Lo Brown. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
D'Lo Brown. Yeah.
D'Lo Brown is, I believe, is it?
Brown. Yeah.
Now this guy is a WWE, a bit of a legend. Come on, I love D'Lo Brown. I remember watching him walking in with, somebody else who was maybe on this list at a certain WrestleMania, and it was all pimped up, and it was fantastic, man. It was proper good entertainment, and he was successful in the ring as well. He's a multiple European champion. And I believe he held the Intercontinental Championship at least once as well.
Yeah.
D'Lo Brown was. I don't know have you got anything to add? I love D'Lo Brown. I thought he was a good mid-carder in the Attitude type of era. A little bit before that, maybe as well. But he was in numerous factions. But he gave some solid matches in I would say in the WWF at the time. Dave,
he was quite underrated as well, to be honest with you, was D'Lo Brown. I mean, he sort of hit the headlines, didn't he, in a sort of negative way when he first started out in WWE, because he was inadvertently the one who ended the career of Droz, aka Puke, with the running powerbomb.
So yeah.
Yeah, and it was botched due to the fact that of too much, the sort of clothing that Droz was wearing, and it ended up making Droz paraplegic, didn't it? After then onward, but Droz, God bless him. He don't blame Brown for his injuries. He said it could have happened to him at any point. He then formed like you say, he was in like different alliances with Teddy Long.
Oh, loads, yeah.
All sorts of people. But when you look at his career, it's the stuff that he's gone and done in other promotions. I mean, this guy, you're talking nigh on 30 championship, different titles in different different wrestling promotions.
Yeah. That is
and he was
awesome.
also TNA NWA World Tag Team Champion as well with the Grand Apollo, who was another awesome wrestler. So this guy's been all over the place, and he was even in the ill-fated Aces and Eights, which were in TNA as well. And am I wrong in saying, was he part of the Nation of Domination as well? The heel
100%
stable?
he was. Yeah, which The Rock eventually took over.
Absolutely. So he has been in some high-profile matches and stuff as well, and factions. So yeah, D'Lo Brown, great shout.
Anything to add, Gav?
His name makes me think of a Jim Croce song, Bad Bad Leroy Brown. And I can't get it out of my head when I see his name.
Leroy Brown, Queen's song, isn't it? Bring back Leroy Brown, gonna get that funky boy. Okay, next one on the list.
His real name is AC Julius Connor. That's his real name.
D'Lo Brown.
No wonder he changed it to D'Lo. Yeah.
I believe he's still active. Is he still active?
Part-time.
D'Lo?
Semi-retired, yeah.
Semi-retired, doing a bit for Impact. Is he doing a bit for Impact still? Oh, he was earlier this year?
Inadvertently, yeah. I mean, but, you know, he's 47, like, he's still got a bit of gas in the tank, so, yeah, all the best to him, D'Lo Brown. Good shout, Phil.
Apparently,
excellent.
He got his name from a friend at high school called Darren Lewis, a.k.a. D. Lewis Lowe. And basically died of cancer, and then he's asked his mother if he could use his name as a tribute.
D'Lo.
God bless him, man. That's this.
Excellent. That is a brilliant fact, and I didn't know that.
Not a
excellent,
fact,
excellent.
A fact.
No, it's no. Well, yeah, but it's interesting. Good little interesting tidbit to add on there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for adding. Right, next we're going for one of D'Lo's old friends. We're going for Charles Wright, who is better known as Papa Shango, also known as the Godfather.
The Good Father.
The Good Father.
The Good Father. Working with Bull Buchanan then, I believe. But, I think this guy deserves to be on this list. Charles Wright, the Godfather. He's been around forever, or it seemed like it at the time. But you never knew because he was always reinventing himself. The guy is great. He was also... He did have karma, like a big powerhouse.
Yes.
He portrayed him as well. Again, multiple title holder, mainly tag teams. But you've got to remember when it was such a packed era of such mass. Everyone was a superstar. Everybody was a superstar. Yeah. It was almost like they had so many people that there was the mid card was like the top card, and then there was a top card. There was just so many good wrestlers around at that time. I mean, Gav, what do you think of The Godfather? What was your favourite Charles Wright persona?
The Godfather, when he came back at Royal Rumble and immediately got eliminated and just walked to whack off with his hose.
Well, all I can say to that is pimping ain't easy.
Never returned, apparently.
Pimping ain't easy, man.
So he held the Intercontinental Championship once. He got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016. But can you have a guess at what Wrestling Observer Newsletter voted as his worst gimmick?
Probably Papa Shango.
What do you think, Gav?
I've just seen it, so I know the answer.
It really was Papa Shango, and I'm quite disappointed at that because I thought Papa was the worst one because it was like a really poor Mr. T.
Yeah, it was boring. Papa Shango was ace. It was just one. It could have been brilliant, and I think it's one of them that's divided. Half the people love it, half the people hate it. I personally think it had so much potential.
I think it did.
It really did.
Could have really gone on that. Yeah.
But anyway, there you go. Godfather, Charles Wright, Papa Shango, Karma, legend.
And I think the Papa Shango gimmick, if they would have kept on to Papa Shango, I think they could have done that where he maybe blooded in the Boogeyman. Do you remember the Boogeyman as well?
Yeah, what that keen on that.
Another black wrestler, but sadly only appeared very, very briefly. But I think if they kept the Papa Shango thing going, it could have been like a blooding for the Boogeyman. But hey ho, creative.
Oh yeah, gosh, I do remember the Boogeyman now. Yeah, didn't last very long
ago.
though.
As well, if you want.
Eating the worm.
Yeah, eating the worms. Yeah.
I've got a random fact about Godfather
lasted about
as well.
4 months. Go on, brilliant. What's the random fact?
He actually first entered professional wrestling after being noticed tending a bar by wrestlers while they were filming Over the Top.
Oh, the arm wrestling film with Sly Stallone.
Yep.
I remember watching that as a kid. Loved it. It was like the best thing you could get if you wanted a Rocky film and you didn't have a Rocky film because you'd seen them all.
But to
So you
be
watch
fair,
an arm
though,
wrestling film.
we've all driven a lorry and then worked out in a gym whilst driving it as well, haven't we? We've all done that.
Yeah, all the time.
Absolutely.
So I spend my week.
All the
It's
time.
not a drive to work unless you're working out as well as driving the car. So, yeah, good film Over the Top. Next one, Phil!
Okay, so the next pick on my list is Ron Killings. Gavin, can you tell me about Ron Killings?
Little Jimmy!
I'm not sure if he's currently the 24/7 champion or not, because I think it's changed like 3 times since we started the podcast.
I think he is just. I think this is the truth. I think he really has. I think he's had that title now. I think he's like won it 27 times or something like that. It's brilliant. I love it.
I'll tell you what I remember. I remember
42 times.
I remember K-Quick. I remember his first incarnation.
42 times, yeah.
42 times. Like the guy
42
has, again, multiple titles, very good physique. He's worked hard to be where he is. He's had a title run with somebody else who was on this list in a bit as a tag team.
We'll spoil that.
We won't spoil that just yet, but if you can, I tell you what, you'll get at least 1 point if you can guess it and post it now on the link before I say it later. Yeah. It's going to be number 6.
Do it now.
Do it now, because if you don't, you regret it forever.
Get to the chopper now.
So Ron Killings,
stop it.
K-Quick. K-Quick turned into R-Truth. R-Truth. Guys.
K-Quick was an awful gimmick. I hated the K-Quick thing. It was him and Road Dogg, wasn't it?
I liked his moveset though. He was a high flyer back then, wasn't he? He was a skinny lad. He was a bit of a top rope, high flyer type wrestler. That's what I remember of K-Quick.
Well, they kept getting squashed, didn't they? They were just getting squashed all the time, weren't they? But I tell you what, I think his most significant sort of top billing run was in TNA, because he was massive in TNA. And
did he not win the TNA Heavyweight Championship?
Twice.
He did indeed, yeah.
Exactly.
It was scouted by WWE from then on in. But yeah, he was massive in TNA. Was Ron Killings, but I just love like the character he's become over the past 10 years. This just insane comedy character, and this imaginary friend, little Jimmy. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
I read something earlier about him. I mean, I've not watched a lot of recent wrestling, as I've made quite clear in every podcast. But something about him turning up to every pay-per-view, one pay-per-view late. Or something like that. Yeah, like he turned up to WrestleMania and acts like it was Royal Rumble and that type of thing. And it was like, obviously it was a comedy gimmick, but I just found that quite amusing. I wish I'd known that and seen and watched it at the time, but I just thought that was quite funny, Any stats? Have we got anything about him?
I just like the fact that it's almost like he's just been given the freedom just to work off script, and just whatever situation he's in,
he can make it.
Really, really think on his feet, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's. He's when you look at his history as well. I mean, the guy's 48 as well, and he doesn't look 48. And he has been around wrestling a long time. He's won multiple championships in TNA, and he's won more belts than what I genuinely thought in WWE as well.
Yes, absolutely, he has. Tag teams. He's got a lot of achievements.
hardcore champion. Remember the hardcore championship, man? He won that twice as well. So
I mean, to be fair, he looks mean and all, doesn't he? He looks hard. He looks like a real hard dude. Do you know when you know what I mean? He looks hard. You won't want to meet him.
He also produces his own rap albums as well.
Well, I bet they're crap, but you know.
No, rap. Well,
oh, rap. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rap.
What's
rap.
your
Sorry.
We call it rap now.
Rap music. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Random fact time.
Go for it.
He spent most of his life before he went to prison for it, obviously, for dealing cocaine. And until the point basically joined WCW or WWE, WCW at the time, he's on the independent circuit first, Pro Wrestling Federation. Until about then, he was still dealing drugs.
That probably explains where little Jimmy's maybe coming from then, do you know what I mean?
I love it. Love it. Okay, Ron Killings. If he carries on dealing, he's going to kill himself. Right, nice. We're going to go to the next one. Now, this guy's a legend.
He hasn't got the worst rap sheet in wrestling, so...
boom. Right, next. We've got a legend here. We've got a bit of a legend, a WrestleMania legend. We've got a WWE legend. We've got the Birdman. We've got Koko Beware, man.
Oh, go on.
Koko Beware. Now, when I was a young lad... When I was a young lad watching wrestling, this guy lost all the time. But it was so fun to watch. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
He'd come out with this like parrot or whatever on his arm or whatever it was, a big bird. And
Frankie,
and Frankie, there you go. Frankie the Bird came out with him, and he was a high flyer, and he was a good athlete. Do you know, his matches were very entertaining. He even teamed up for a tag team with a very young Owen Hart, and they wore the most ridiculous, the most ridiculous outfits. Their wrestling attire was hideous. I think they called the team High Energy. Can anyone confirm? It was something along that line.
Yeah.
Their outfits were just. You know what? This is your homework tonight, guys. Google High Energy, Owen Hart, Koko Beware, and look at those outfits, man.
I've seen it, man. It's a great way if you want to do like a moving colourblind test. It's fantastic, honestly. It really is.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Dave there. But underneath all that, Koko Beware is a legend. He's won numerous titles through the Indies and things like that. Never won anything in the WWF at the time, WWE now. But one thing that he will or should always be remembered for, he was the Undertaker's very first opponent in the WWF. He was the first one to rest in peace.
That was quite good.
First one to take a Tombstone Piledriver.
So there you go, Koko Beware. Anything to add, guys?
I never really saw him before my time, so.
David, can you add out? Are you happy with that?
It's do you know the one thing that stood out from with Koko Beware about me? Like when I was at school, and obviously he was one of these sort of mid-carders, but he'd always seemed to make the appearances at the pay-per-views.
Yeah,
it was his finishing move for me, the Frankensteiner, which was just at the time nobody else seemed to be doing a move like that. So the Frankensteiner was just like, whoa, this dude's getting battered in every match, but the Frankensteiner move was just absolutely quality. So yeah, and he'll always be remembered for the bright clothes, the awesome finishing move on the rare occasions that he did get to win, and great shout, man, Koko Beware. Another one who is on the Beyond the Mat documentary as well.
Absolutely, excellent. Moving on then, so it don't last forever, but we've still got another 6 wrestlers to go. So I'm gonna next one. Ron Killings, I mentioned him earlier. He was in a tag team once and he won the tag team titles with Kofi Kingston. So
Yes.
Kofi Kingston is next on the list. But Kofi Kingston was also the top guy. He won the big title. So what a career he's had. High flyer, very athletic again, great physique. Can you tell me a bit more about him, either of you two?
I
Do you know the
remember when he had a
beauty of
Jamaican accent.
Kofi Kingston is? Oh, go on, Gav. Go on, please tell him.
I remember that Jamaican accent he had that he lost halfway through a promo. That was comedy
There's
gold.
about to be trouble in paradise. Yeah.
And then
And
he
all of a
started
sudden,
speaking
like a
American
year
accent.
later, and then a year later, he's full on American.
It was halfway
The
through a
other great thing
promo.
about that
First
is, though, Gav, I don't know if you ever saw this. I don't know if you saw it, Phil. Was the New Day used to absolutely rib him in the ring on his Jamaican accent as well.
Really?
So even as a tag team champion, the stable that he was in would still rag him about his dodgy Jamaican accent. So, but yeah, he's gone on to achieve a match. And do you know what? One of the things that sticks out for me about Kofi Kingston, has anybody ever seen the way he leaps in and out the ring at the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
It is
the highlight of
absolutely incredible. Like, to watch an actual athlete do that without both of his feet hitting the ground is incredible. So if no one has seen Kofi Kingston leaping in and out of the ring at Royal Rumble without touching the ground, get on it, because it is just absolutely incredible.
The best one involves
What?
pancakes.
Well,
It did,
there you go,
pancake.
guys. There you go, listeners. There you go. Get yourself on that. I have got a little story about Kofi Kingston, actually, that I found out about. I've read a lot, and I came across this little bit of a tidbit, and it's a great story, actually. Basically, there was a flight, and there was a load of superstars on this flight. Vince McMahon was on this flight, and Chris Jericho was on this flight, and they'd all when they fly from place to place, it's their downtime. They get pissed up, they have a good drink, they get drunk, and Vince McMahon he'd said something, and Chris Jericho, it was nothing, it really wasn't nothing, but Chris Jericho made Kofi Kingston think it was about him, and he says, look, he goes, Kofi, if you don't go and stand up to him, he'll disrespect. He won't respect you. You've got. And it's Chris Jericho's had a few beers. He's pissed. He's pissed up, and he's admitted this. You can find this. You can search this, and you'll find it. So Chris Jericho's on Kofi Kingston, and he knows what he's doing. In his mind, he's just taking the piss, and he's winding Kofi Kingston up, and he says, "Oh, Vinnie Mac's not going to respect you now. What you've got to do is you've got to go and stand up to him. You've got to go and challenge him to a real fight." So Kofi, Kofi, with quite obviously not as a bit green, not as experienced as some of the other superstars, gets wound up by Chris Jericho, and he goes on back. They were getting off the plane. He goes back onto the plane. That the not boarding, the opposite of that. I forgot the word. Unboarding.
Disembarking.
Disembarking. Yeah. Get off the plane.
Disembarking.
So they're getting off the plane because they don't like the plane.
Oh,
and
nearly dropped an F-bomb then.
Nearly, but I'm learning. I'm being good. So sorry. Let's get back to the point. So Kofi Kingston gets back on the plane and goes to Vince McMahon and says, "Hey, what do you think you're doing? Don't disrespect me. I'll take you on now." And do you know what? In a weird way, Vinnie Mac did respect him more, and Kofi Kingston did win a title, the top one.
He did. He won.
So there you go. Maybe just Chris Jericho helped him without really realising he was helping him.
With a little bit of
But
the
he's
bump.
good at that.
Yeah.
He's good at pushing.
Shall we move on? Looking at the time.
Yeah.
The next wrestler on this list, again, I think is a bit of a legend. He worked with Bradshaw as part of the Acolytes.
Ooh.
We're talking here about Ron Simmons. I'll start it off. Ron Simmons, Cleveland Browns, former NFL superstar.
Yes.
Damn.
This guy was the main guy in WCW at one point, winning their top title, and multiple title holder in the WWE as well. What can you tell us? Farouk. It's Farouk. We know him as Farouk. Most people.
I think with it being Black History Month as well, Phil, it's really important to note that he was the first African American to win the WCW Heavyweight Championship as well, which is massive. And you think of how much that must have helped pave the way for the likes of Booker T, for the likes of Ron the Truth Killings, for Kofi Kingston and every other member of the New Day as well. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP. You know, there's tons and tons of wrestlers. And looking up to that guy as like the first ever African American to win a heavyweight championship in a big, well-known mainstream wrestling promotion is massive, isn't it? It's got to be absolutely huge.
Excellent achievement, it really is. A lot of respect there. And you know, he held his own. Again, there were so many big personalities when he was in the WWE, amongst that most popular period in the history of WWE, I would say. You know, the Attitude Era, Ron Simmons, the Acolytes, but it was more than that. Like you say, before that, he was WCW champion, first African American, first black heavyweight, recognised heavyweight champion of the world, and that you've got to give that to this guy. You know, pure athlete, former NFL, you know, all American. The guy, the guy is a legend, and I'm pretty sure he must be in the Hall of Fame.
I want Gav to do his best Ron Simmons impression.
There's only one word that you can really do for Ron Simmons. Damn!
Damn! Hey, I love it! Get in, Gavin! Hey!
Yeah!
Most recent memory as well when he had the megaphone.
Yes!
It was Jimmy Hart's megaphone, just shouting damn down it. It was just amazing.
Damn!
I love it. It was Ron Simmons, was he also the leader of the Nation of Domination until The Rock took over? Was it? Was that Farouk?
Right.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Sounds right.
I mean, I like all these guys, but yeah, Ron Simmons, Farouk, absolute legend. Moving on, number 8. Now, this is a bit of a blast from the past. Not everybody will know him. You might have to be a certain age, but this guy entertained. The fans loved him. We're talking about the Junkyard Dog.
Oh, man, what a wrestler.
And this guy was so entertaining. So, what's your memories of Junkyard Dog, Dave? Do you have any?
Junkyard Dog, the chain. Just coming down with the chain. Junkyard Dog, very similar sort of background to Ron Simmons. You know, coming from the American football background as well. But this guy was brilliant. He was such a good heel. And the one thing I loved about Junkyard Dog is that he never got into a faction or a sort of tag team, or never had any sort of manager as well, really. He was literally like a lone wolf. And this guy fought them all. He fought $1 Million Man. And then he was fighting the following heels as well. You know, he'd fight the likes of Kamala, King Kong Bundy, as well as Butch Reed as well. Do you know what I mean? So this guy was almost in a way like an anti-hero, like a lesser-known Stone Cold, because this guy would just fight anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
And I believe, was it the first ever dog collar match as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Was that at WrestleMania? I believe that was one of the WrestleManias, wasn't it?
Yeah, dog
2
collar
or
match,
3.
ghetto street fight. So this guy was a bit of a trailblazer as well, was Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog was awesome. He has a bit of a special achievement as well. The guy won the Wrestling Classic, which is pretty much considered to be the very first WWF pay-per-view. Before WrestleMania 1, it was a tournament style, and the Junkyard Dog was victorious in the final against none other than one of our very favourites on the Piledriver Podcast, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Randy Savage, absolutely, yeah.
Victorious against Macho Man, Junkyard Dog. That's why he's on the list.
By count out.
Good shout, really good shout.
So next 2, we've got 2 left, and you're going to know them both. They're both very famous, popular wrestlers. And the next one is, can you dig it, sucker? It's Booker T. Booker T.
What in the blue hell is a spinneroonie?
When we do the live in-person one, Phil will have to give us an example.
Well, very much tongue-in-cheek. If it wasn't for Booker T, if it wasn't for Booker T's bookend, then there probably would never be a rock bottom.
Very true.
Yeah.
You know, that could be true. That it could be very true. Spinneroonie was the most electrifying move in sports entertainment once upon a time.
To be fair,
pretty much. Booker T, when he mocked, copied, or whatever you wanted, parodied The Rock on The Rock's moves, was really fun. You know, it was really fun. Now, Booker T, serious wrestler Booker T, has won probably more titles than any other black wrestler, probably more than any wrestler. This guy's list of accomplishments is immense, and phenomenal. This guy can do it all. He can do the mic. He can do the moves. He's got the physique. He's fought the best. He's fought The Rock. He's fought Stone Cold. He's been in with Triple H. This Booker T is top tier wrestling godness.
He's had all the feuds as well. I mean, he's had feuds with Ric Flair. He's had feuds with NWO as well. You know, back in the WCW days, he's taken them all on. Scott Steiner, Goldberg in his peak, Conan. I mean, there's been the Stinger. Do you know what I mean? He's absolutely taken like every. I mean, you name it. He's probably fought with them, fought alongside them as well. Infamously, he was King Booker, and also as well. Got to bear in mind that this guy had a shocking start to life before he became a wrestler, because he did a lengthy prison sentence for armed robbery as well, a double-figure sentence, and then obviously since then he's had a more than decorated wrestling career, and now he's moved into politics as well, and still is a guest co-commentator on WWE.
Well, it just shows you how somebody, given the right chances, and also if you're willing to put the work in and the dedication in, how you can change your life around. And there's always some opportunity for you there. If you're willing to put the work in, salvation's there if you want it.
Absolutely. TNA, WCW, and WWE. You know, he's won titles at them all. Gav, could you name me one of Booker T's co-tag team champions in WWE?
Test.
Whoa, good shout. Yeah, this is a test. Can you name another one, Phil?
No, but I can name you one of his tag team partners from WCW.
Go for it.
Which might be his brother.
That's cheating.
Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray, absolutely.
Stevie Ray. Booker T and Stevie Ray, real-life brothers, tag team champions in WCW. Now, the last bit on Booker T before we move on, otherwise we won't be able to fit in my special, my honourable mentions, is that Booker T has been twice inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, once as an individual, and once, as you mentioned earlier, Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
With his brother Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
So Booker T should be celebrated for a long time. I mean, the guy is
also
a legend.
one of only 12 Grand Slam winners as well.
There you
Along
go.
the lines of King,
Yeah,
Triple H,
yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. Very few people made it. Some
he's
on
up
Big
there.
Show made it.
The 12 wrestlers, and we're talking over 50, 60 years of wrestling here. That's a great achievement. Booker T is up there with the best. Last one then. Now I'm going to go for this guy, this mountain of a guy. At 21 years old, he represented his country at the Barcelona Olympics in powerlifting. I think you know where I'm going with this, guys. This is Mark Henry, the strongest man in the world. Now, sexual chocolate. You might think, oh, what a boring limited wrestler. This guy's been in this promotion, WWE. He's been there over 15 years now. He's won titles there. He's won the world title. He's won multiple titles. He's a strong man, and I think he's quite important backstage politics. There's a little bit of a story know about him, but I didn't share with you two. Is that at the airport in the 1992 Olympics, he was invited over to talk to somebody, and part of that group was a certain Michael Jordan, the basketball player.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan was very big at the time, and in terms of popularity and things like that. Michael Jordan was pretty much like, who's this dickhead who's coming across here? And Mark Henry kind of got a feeling of the situation and how he was being treated by Michael Jordan, and pretty much says, what the fuck did you say? Oh, so Daisy. It came out. What did you say? What did you say to me? And Michael Jordan very quickly apologised and backed off.
I'm surprised he even got that far. I wouldn't even dare risk the wrath of someone the size of Mark Henry.
Well,
and especially when you see
Dave, he was only 21. He was only 21 at the time. He was only 21. But to have the confidence to go up to somebody like...
I mean, this is a guy that's benched 600 pounds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we're not talking somebody who just rocks up at Costello Gym and just lifts a couple of weights and goes, yeah, that'll do for the flex assist. This guy's an absolute machine. And when you look at what he's done in the Olympics, I mean, he literally was, in his peak, officially the world's strongest man.
Yeah, he has held that title, world's strongest man. Mark Henry is a machine, and he learnt the game on the job. The longer he went, the better he got, and you've got to respect him for that. You know, not everybody is born into this game, and not everybody has gone through all that. But sometimes you need that outside influence, or that outside, like NFL players or powerlifters or amateur pro wrestlers like Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
very different game to actual pro wrestling. Amateur wrestling pro is very different. So, people like Mark Henry sometimes get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. But Mark Henry, in my mind, he is a wrestling legend and deserves his place on this list. He's won the titles, and he's been an athlete outside the ring too.
He still holds the record as well, doesn't he, for the all-time American deadlift and American squat as well. So this guy's This guy's still got records, and he's also offered to donate his brain to science, for CTE scan researches. Things on concussion and any brain tumours and things like that. So So Mark Henry.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Random fact time. Random fact.
Random fact time.
He has a 2-foot ferret named Pipe.
He really does. A 2-foot ferret named Pipe. Yeah.
Like, you couldn't make that
So
up if you tried.
excellent. So Phil,
Is it in his
Does that
trousers? Does he keep
conclude-
it? Does he keep it in his trousers?
Always.
Phil, that was awesome. Does that conclude your
Couple
Black
of
History Month?
That concludes my top 10. But I would like to shout out just a quick. Yeah.
Are you there? Is he there?
Okay, guys,
A quick what?
you're back. Yeah, I would like to. Can you hear me?
We never went
Yeah.
anywhere.
A quick honourable
We never went
mention to a few of the guys.
Boom!
Oh, good. Right, okay, honourable mention. So, any listeners, if you want a proper, it's not really, but a black superstar that's a little bit extreme, then go and look up New Jack, that Dave likes. If you want someone that's real extreme, then go and look somebody up called Abdullah the Butcher.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
he was really extreme. He would have made New Jack look like the Milky Bar Kid. just go and look him up. Put images on and look at his forehead. Look at his head. It is messed up.
He did
And
play
that
a
is
few
because
times.
of his wrestling career. Another shout out quickly I'd like to make, because I haven't mentioned, and she should have probably been in the top 10, Jacqueline. Do you remember
Yes.
Jacqueline?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolute awesome wrestler. That girl is so awesome. It's not only was she a women's champion in WWE, she actually won the men's cruiserweight championship as well.
She really did.
And one last credible shout out is for somebody called Tony Atlas, who's also known as Mr. USA. This guy will go down as the first guy that ever pinned Hulk Hogan. Ever. Black guy.
Excellent.
Black wrestler.
Thank you very much.
And
There
one
you
of
go.
only about 3 that did.
Excellent. Just a quick couple more birthdays to shout out from wrestlers past and present. So we've already touched on the fact that it would have been Eddie Guerrero. Well, would have been Eddie Guerrero's birthday on the Friday. On October the 14th, at the wonderful age of 41, we've got Stacy Keibler.
Wow, Stacey's 41.
This is 41. We have today Ricochet, the wrestler who is still staying on the Raw brand. He is 32 today. And we also have a birthday today. Keeping it in with the Big Chiefs on SmackDown, it is Rikishi's birthday today. Rikishi is 55 today, the Papa of the Usos. And so
And
those
in
are some of the
relation to The Rock
birthdays
in some form.
that we have coming up this week. Oh, and we cannot go without.
Was it not Tony Khan's birthday?
We had Tony Khan's birthday. I was going to say AEW. It was the CEO Tony Khan's birthday as well, and also big congratulations for a successful year one of AEW. And also today, as it is Black History Month as well, we have got the birthday today, a 53rd birthday for Taz.
Taz. Love the Taz. Love the Taz mission. There you
Love him
go.
on commentary.
Happy birthday, Taz. Awesome commentator, awesome wrestler, awesome superstar.
Awesome manager.
Can't believe I didn't give him a special mention on my list. Sorry, Taz. Next time I do a top 10 list, you might make number 11.
Lovely
And on that, Ben.
Right, gentlemen. Yeah, go for it, Gav.
No, just on that, Ben. I think that's That's enough. He's always stole my joke of the week, hasn't he?
Jokes. You've not got any jokes at all for us, guys. People tune in.
I've got a joke. A wrestler walks into a bar and says, ouch. But, sorry, I ain't got one. I ain't got a joke. I don't do jokes.
A wrestler
Gab,
walks into a bar and knows
Why are you allowing this, Gab? He's stealing your thunder here.
Oh,
Come on.
Joke of the week. SmackDown was draft.
I thought you'd give it a 7 out of 10.
SmackDown, yeah. The draft.
Is that a good joke or a bad joke? Well, as a future topic, guys, I wanted to mention to you, do you think we should do kind of like a history of English wrestling?
Oh, that'd be a good shout, that, Phil. Yeah. I think that'd be a good shout. Maybe
I think maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to do it. You can lead it, maybe, Dave. It's your turn anyway, isn't it?
I don't mind. I'm more than happy for next week to do the history of. We'll do British wrestling.
Yeah, British wrestling.
We can cover a lot in there, can't we?
Well, we've got to cover, Kasaki, was it? And there's loads of them, isn't there? Mick McManus, Big Daddy, Giant A-Stacks, and going to the more newer ones that actually compete in the big promotions. And maybe I know a wrestler who I worked with. His persona was called Poison. It was called Rob. I will try and get hold of Rob and see if I can get a bit of input from him. So maybe do this one in a couple of weeks and build up to a bit of a special.
That would be fantastic. So yeah, we'll do that one then. British wrestling, history of British wrestling next week. Guys, I've got a joke. If anybody wants to hear it,
go for it.
I love to hear a joke.
So brace yourselves.
I'm braced.
What's a wrestling chef's favourite finishing move?
I don't know, Dave. What's a wrestling chef's favourite finishing move?
A suplex.
Oh, boom, boom.
Oh, dear.
Right, listeners, if you're feeling generous, the Heartbreak Kid would like to have a cowboy hat for next week's on-screen podcast.
I have one.
So if anyone wants...
Joke.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you had a cowboy hat.
I've got that as well,
Okay.
but I've got a joke.
Okay, go for it.
I liked Hornswoggle, but he had a pretty short career.
Oh, and he's back on form. He's back on form.
It was bad.
Right then. So thank you everybody who joined in, tuned in. Please leave your comments on your favourite ever black wrestlers of all time in any wrestling organisation, past, present and future. I say future, current wrestlers. Put your comments on there. Also put your comments about the wrestlers that we spoke about today as well. What was your thoughts? What memories do you have of those wrestlers? What memorable things in their careers have we not covered today as well? So guys, I am going to love y'all and leave y'all, and well done on today's podcast, and tune in next week when we start talking about the history of British wrestling.
Awesome, guys, and don't forget, if anybody wants to donate a cowboy hat to the Heartbreak Kid, Dave will give you the address in the comments. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.